Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk with yet another contest entry. This time, the contest is for the channel Cheap and Cheerful Record Collector, which is run by a guy named Jonathan in Maine. And so, sort of the theme of his contest, he's kind of thinking about buying less records, actually listening to a lot of the records he's accumulated over the years more, and kind of suggesting us do the same. So I'm going to kind of stick with that theme. Everything I'm going to show is going to be stuff I got for cheap in the wild, and all stuff that probably deserves more spins from me than they've gotten so far. He was saying kind of think about how you arrange your records, pick 5 records from 5 different genres. I used to have different genres and different cubes. I switched to alphabetical, but I'll kind of go with the way I used to have them in cubes. So first record, we'll do some jazz. So this is West Coast Jazz Volume 3. So this is sort of that cool California jazz from the mid to late 50s on Jazz Tone Records. So you've got like Chet Baker, Chico Hamilton, Jerry Mulligan, Art Pepper, Bud Shank, and others. Something I picked up for $1.25, and I've only listened to it a few times. I actually listened to it right before I got on. I do own one Chet Baker record. The rest of these people are people that aren't represented in my collection above and beyond this compilation, so maybe these are people I should keep my eyes out for. Next, I'll go into something from that would have been in the country folk cube, and so the elusive Bob Lind on Verve Folkways. So I guess I spent $3.33 on this. I remembered I'd bought 3 records for $10 the day I got this, and so I think he only released a few records. This came out in the mid-60s. He was pretty young at the time, and again, I've only listened to this a couple of times, kind of meeting the theme. Next, we'll go from sort of the classic rock realm. So I'm going to show this record from the 1980s by the Hooters, 1987, One Way Home. And so I've picked up a couple Hooters records over the years. I remember I got this from $1. Sort of the story behind it was, and it's sort of, there's going to be a sad part of the story. So there was an antique store in a neighboring town where the guy who bought and sold records. He was mostly into 60s and 70s classic rock. He had a dollar bin section where basically sort of like your standard thrift store stuff, or stuff in really bad shape, or stuff that kind of slipped through his radar. The Hooters would have been a little bit late for this particular guy. Unfortunately, Mayfield, Kentucky, the downtown got destroyed by a tornado, and that's where this particular store was located. So, I don't know the guy who ran the store. Hopefully, he came out fine in terms of his health. So, Hooters, One Way Home. Next record, I think I got this for $2. So this is going to be sort of from the soul disc hip hop cube, Vicky Sue Robinson. So this would have been a disco record from 1976. And so the famous song on here is Turn the Beat Around. And the record's called Gonna Let You Go, which was one of the other songs on it. And I seem to remember listening to this once, liking Turn the Beat Around, and I don't remember liking the other songs. I don't think I've listened to it since. I should probably listen to it a couple more times and determine if this is something that would be in a purge, or if this is something I'm going to keep. Maybe this would have been better for me to pick up as a single. Who knows? Finally, we'll do some Miscellaneous. So world music, comedy, compilations, things that don't readily go anywhere else. I sort of have a weakness for Greek folk music. And so I remember last year at one of our particular sort of indoor flea markets, there was a vendor that had many boxes of records. Most of them were crap, but I did pull out several Greek folk records from there. I chose to show this one because this is the one that I like the photo the most. So this is the Gaida. This is sort of a Macedonian version of bagpipes that this man is playing. And then the other man is playing the drums. Songs of Mytilene and Chios. And so a lot of the Greek folk music, especially the more sort of authentic archival stuff, doesn't sound like the sort of music you would associate with Greek restaurants and oppa and smashing, drinking ouzo and smashing plates. It's almost, some of it's almost kind of free jazzy sounding, because it's, a lot of it is kind of not the sort of notes and tones that you would be sort of used to listening. So there's a variety of 5 records that I bought all. I think those 5 records combined I bought for less than $10. I also haven't listened to any of them all that much. So that will be my entry to Jonathan's contest at the Cheap and Cheerful Record Collector.